Is it audible, people? Is it visible? Yes, please do comment. Let me get to know that if everything is fine. Yes, I hope that everything is fine. Yeah, people. Uh, One thing I want to tell you, just focus on the coming attempts or the coming papers. Don't get distracted with the past. The past will always taunt you. Don't get distracted over that. Always focus on the coming, whatever is coming for you up front. Keep that in your mind. And with that mentality, you should study for the coming attempt or the May 2026 quantitative aptitude so that you can clear this paper with very good marks. That's the basic thing everyone should know, right? Yeah, people, I hope that everything is audible, everything is visible. Okay, now let's start off with the theory marathon, people. We are going to have a discussion of like PYQs of all the theories, that we will be discussing about the question also, so that it will help you out in solving the questions for the previous ones. And okay, yes, I hope that everything is fine. Low sound. Is it audible now? 1 second. Is it audible? Low sound. Is it fine now? Is it audible now? Perfect. Yes, let me check again. Is it audible? 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 No, low sound, low sound. Let me check. How's the sound now? Is it fine? Still low sound. Now how is it? Audible, sir. Low sound. 1 second. Let me check once. How is it now? Fine? Yes. I hope that everything is fine. If not, also I'll just try to increase it a little bit more for you. Audible but less sound. Fine, let's try. I think now everything is fine. If not, also I will record it and I'll upload it for you guys. I hope that now it's fine. It's audible. Low sound, low sound, low sound. Everyone, can you just confirm me so that I can just... How is it now? Audible? I think now it's perfectly audible. Is it too much sound or less sound? Yes, very, very good afternoon, all of you, all of you. Let's start off with our theory marathon. I hope that this session will be very useful for each and every one of you. Okay, now we will focus on this, and just after this session, I will be doing the expected question marathon in the evening time. Okay, we will do the entire expected question. Okay, fine. Let's start off and let's finish off in 1 hour or 1.5 hours. People, based on a question from your Jan 2021, a variable with qualitative characteristics is known as what? It's an attribute, quality based. It cannot be measured. It can only be, which is not measurable, is called as qualitative data, and it is coming under what? Attribute. Then people, the accuracy and consistency of a data can be verified using what? Scrutiny. Now, what do you mean by scrutiny? You will go through the entire data set, and after collecting all the data, you can verify by using an audit or a scrutiny of it. Okay, people? Yes, my earbuds are crying. Hello. Okay. What happened? Is it audible? If not, please tell me. Yes. Next one. The left part. How are you? All good? All good? Yes. Let me check by myself whether it is audible or not. Yes. Oh, is it audible? It's properly audible. Okay, fine. Next one. The left part. Yeah, let's continue. The left part of the table providing the description of row is called as what? Stub. Stub is also called as what, people? Row heading. It is also called as row heading. Then mode can be obtained graphically using what? Histogram. How does a histogram looks like? It looks like this. Okay, people, remember this. And if I am joining the midpoints of a histogram and I draw one new graph, that graph is called as frequency polygon. Keep that in your mind. Then how are you going to think about how are you going to find the value of median graphically? We're using which graph? You will use Ogive graph. Okay, yes, too high audible. Okay, fine, done. Too much audible. Yeah, too late. That will be there. Yes. Then most of the commonly used distributions are what? It will be bell shaped, and it is also called as what? normal distributions. Okay, yes, distributions. Then, which of the following is suitable for graphical presentation of cumulative frequency distribution? People, cumulative frequency distribution is using what, Dav? Using ogive or ogive. What happens there? In the x-axis, what is there? Class boundary is there. In the x-axis, always class boundary is there. In the y-axis, cumulative frequency is there. Very important. There can be questions directly based on it. And how does an ogive graph look like? Like this. And the meeting point is called as what? The meeting point is called as median, or it can be called as Q2, or it can be called as D5, or it can be called as P50. All the things will come together. Then sweetness of a dish. People, can I measure the sweetness? After tasting it, can you measure how many grams of sugar was there? No. It is an attribute, people. It is a qualitative data, not a quantitative data. Okay, next one, people. CA Foundation, July 2021. Data collected on religion from the census report. People, census report is a primary data. So there is a book containing the data of all the people across India. That is the census data, correct? Now, from that I am collecting the data of religion. So people, it is a secondary data. What do you mean by primary data? We are directly collecting it from the people or the population. That is primary data. Otherwise, it is secondary data. Next one, people. Which of the following diagram is most appropriate to represent various heads of total cost? People, always remember pie chart is always used. Now, we have studied in class also with an example of income tax, then other miscellaneous costs, all the things. It is always easy for us to plot it in a pie chart rather than plotting it in any other graph. Okay, next one, people. In a graphical representation of data, ideographs are also called as what? The pictograms. Next one, dash means separating items according to similar characteristics, grouping them into various classes. People, we are dividing them into multiple classes. It is called as what? Classification. Then frequency density. Yeah, this was there in your Jan 2026 attempt also. Frequency density of a class interval is what? It is the ratio of what to what? The frequency of the class interval to the corresponding class length. One or the other question will be there for your tomorrow's examination also, just based on this. So how long will this marathon be? 1.5 hours maximum. Okay, yes. Then sir, actually I didn't listen to statistical representation. I want to score at least marks. You should go and check, then only you will get the marks. Otherwise it is difficult. Or you can refer this theory marathon and you can go and refer the statistical representation of data. I have uploaded videos and revisions. Everything is there in YouTube itself. You can make use of it. A graph uses vertical bars to represent data is called as what? A bar graph. Now my first question to everyone, is bar graph one dimensional or two dimensional? It is one dimensional graph. Keep that in your mind. Then line graph is also what? One dimensional. Then histogram is what? Two-dimensional. Keep it in your mind. Then people, a national institute arranged its students' data in accordance with different states. This arrangement of data is known as what? The geographical data. Why is it called as geographical data? People, what do you mean by geographical data? It or spatial data. It is also called as what? Spatial data. Okay. Why is it called as? Because with respect to the location, different state-based data comes under what? Geographical or spatial data. Now people, multiple axis line chart is considered when we have, if there are more than one time series and more units of variables are involved over here. Then sweetness of a dish. Look at this, how many times a question like that is repeated. So it can again repeat for your exam also. Sweetness of a dish is what? It is a qualitative data. It is an attribute. Which of the following is not a mode of presentation of data? People, we know textual presentation. With the text we will be presenting things. Then we know tabular presentation. We know diagrammatic presentation by using graph and all. Now people, do you know external presentation? No, it is not a mode of presentation of data. Now, sir, upon doing MTP 70 and 65, it's good, well and good. Yes. For sure, push my aggregate. Please assist me. Focus on the chapters whichever we revised yesterday in our overnight marathon. It will help you out. Okay. Then it is sufficient for revision, da Jansi. Then dash we get dash by plotting cumulative frequency. Okay. CF with representative or with respect to class boundary. We just discussed that. What is it? Ogive. Ogive are used to finding what? Median. There will be a question based on Ogive or Ogive or whatever way you call it. One question will be there for you tomorrow. Then types of research data are what? It can be both qualitative and quantitative. Research, when we are doing research, sometimes we will have measurable data and we will be having unmeasurable data. Both quantitative and qualitative data will be there in both the cases. Then people, histograms are drawn only when class intervals are equal. If class intervals are not equal, we can't draw histograms. Keep it in your mind. Then December 22, which of the following is a source of primary data? Okay, we will read government record. People, record is already there. So if I collect some data, it is a secondary data. Then research article, secondary data. Journals, secondary data. Then questionnaires filled by enumerators, directly they are collecting it, right? So it is a source of primary data. Now, which is the left part of the table? People, repeated question, high chance for your exam. Left part for the part of the table providing the row description or row heading is called as what, people? Stubs. Option C is your answer. Next one, da. Next one, okay, for more than type and less than type intersect at a point called as what? Median. So draw the graph, da. In the x-axis, class boundary is there. In the y-axis, cumulative frequency is there. Then more than curve and less than curve, they will meet at a point. This point is called as median, or you can call it as second quartile, or you can call it as decile 5, or you can call it as P50. All the things are same only, right? Keep that in your mind. Now, always think that the corresponding x value, okay, you should keep that in your mind. You should always take like the corresponding x value is the median, or the corresponding value of the class boundary is the median. Don't say that exact point. That is not the case. The corresponding x value will give you the median. Then mode of, sir, how much time will it get? We get in exam 2 hours? Yes. Sir, this is not, it's available for download. It's available in the description. You can download it. Okay. Then mode of presentation of data are what? Which all presentation of data we know? Tabular is there, textual is there, diagrammatic is there. Okay. Yes. Done. Next one, for tabulation, caption is part what? Caption. I think there was a question based on this in Jan 26. So the upper part of the table, the entire upper part of the table is called as what? The caption is the upper part of the table. Then, what does an ogive curve represent? Okay, how are we drawing ogive curve? Again, we are coming to the same thing. So in the x-axis, see the repetition, how many times it is getting repeated again and again. In the x-axis, it is class boundary. In the y-axis, it is always cumulative frequency and class boundary. Option A is the answer. I hope that you are getting it and you are understanding it. Another ogive based question, people. See the repetition. By plotting cumulative frequency against the respective class boundary, we will get which graph? Ogive graph or ogive graph or whatever way you call it. You can call it anyway. And tomorrow also one question can be there from this. If in a cumulative frequency curve, what represent on the y-axis? People, what is cumulative frequency curve? Our ogive curve. What is there in the y-axis? In the y-axis, cumulative frequency is there. In the x-axis, class boundary is there. So answer is what, people? Cumulative frequency. Next one. In a frequency distribution, the relative frequency of a class. So people, high chance of repetition. What is the meaning of relative frequency? Relative frequency is the ratio of class frequency to total frequency. Mostly tomorrow you will see a question based on relative frequency. High probability. Okay. Sir, median is the main character here. Yes, from this chapter, median is the main character. Or you can say ogive is the main character over here. That is the main character. Next one, frequency density. corresponding to a class interval is nothing but class frequency to class length. This question was there in your Jan 2026 attempt. Now people, the perpendicular drawn from the point of intersection of two ogive. Again, people, again it is coming into the picture. Ogive is coming again. What is more than cumulative curve? Then less than cumulative curve. Then they will meet at a point. If I draw a perpendicular towards here, I will get the median, or I will get the quartile 2, or I will get the percentile 50, or I will get the decile 5. So according to here, answer is what? The option A is the answer. Next one, people. A less than ogive curve is drawn by plotting what? A less than ogive curve is drawn by plotting what, people? Class boundary in the x-axis, cumulative frequency in the y-axis. So less than cumulative frequencies on the vertical axis or y-axis. And ogive is used to represent what? The very important question, high chance. Okay, because in the recent time it was not there. So ogive is used to represent the number of data points falling below a specific value. Why is it coming under a specific value? Because it is drawn by using cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency means what? We will be adding up the frequencies together, right? In chapter 14, we have learned that. That's why it is coming under the number of data points falling below a particular specific value. Okay, then according to the empirical rule, if the data form a bell-shaped distribution, okay, bell-shaped distribution looks like what? It looks like this, correct? Then the maximum and the minimum frequencies occur at what points respectively is the question. Maximum occurs where? Over here, the middle. Okay, maximum occurs at the middle. Then minimum occurs at the end points. So which option is the answer? Option D is the answer. Then people, coming to a first question from sampling. This is the first time after the syllabus stage. Which sampling is based on discretion of the sampler? So if I am the sampler, based on my intent, I am going to collect the sample data. So it is purposive. Okay, based on my purpose. Then which of the following is not a type of sampling? People, probability is a type of sampling, then non-probability is a type of sampling, mixed also is there, but standalone is not a type of sampling. Then secondary data is collected from what? The observation method. Observation method means what? We are directly collecting the data, right? It is primary data. Interview method, it is primary data. Mailed, directly we are mailing the questions to the person. That is also what? Primary data. Then what? International source like World Bank is coming under what? We are taking the data from the World Bank. It is a secondary data. Sir, I studied only logical reasoning, full chapter 4, 5, 6 possible. Yes, Muhammad, it is well and good. Okay. I'll be solving around 180 questions today from this. Okay. Yes. I am rightly Karan Thakur. I am currently in Bangalore. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay, then we'll continue. Next one. Exit polls. Okay, recently elections happened in multiple states, right? So there is a high chance of this question, people. Exit polls are example of which method of collecting data? Random sampling. Very important. Very important. High chance of repetition. Okay, because recently elections happened in many states. Now in exit poll, many exit polls said that Vijay is going to lose the election, but at the end what happened? The entire thing was ulta. Then the distribution of commuters coming to a metro station from early morning hours to peak. So people, what happened there? The early morning hour, sometimes it will go down, then it will peak by going in this manner. What type of curve is that? J-shaped curve. Then what is the range of a data set? Range is nothing but largest observation minus smallest observation. So it is the difference between the highest and the lowest value of a given data set. Now coming to the September, that is series in which frequencies are continuously added corresponding to each class interval is called as what? The each frequency. For example, I'll just say that frequencies are 5, 10, then 35, then 40, likewise it is there. Then cumulative frequency means first one I'll add this, then 5 plus 10 is how much? 15. 15 plus 35 is how much? 50. 50 plus 40 is how much? 90. So it is less than cumulative frequency, so we can say that it is cumulative frequency series. Okay, next one. Numerical representation, sorry, ogives can be used for making what type of projection? Short term projection. Very good question, people. High value question. So what type of projections can be done using ogive graph? We can do short term projection then. So okay, and group frequency distribution is not the thing, short term projection is the thing. Okay, then numerical data presented in descriptive form is called as what? The textual presentation. Keep that in your mind. Okay, next one. So when will be the next marathon? Around mostly around 4:30 or 5 it will be there. Then what type of data is appropriate for representing in a pie chart? For category based data, we have studied income tax, then miscellaneous expenses, then another production cost. All those things will come in, are put in a pie chart. So different categories are put in a expense curve over here. That's why we are putting it as what? Categorical data. Then what is the purpose of stratified random sampling? It is to divide population into subgroups and then randomly selecting samples from each subgroups is called as stratified random sampling. One of the most repeated question. Okay, then next one, people. In a tabular representation of data, stub is what? Stub is what? The left. How many times I told you in this marathon itself? It is the left part of the table representing the row or describing the rows or row heading. Basically, left part of the table which provides the description of the rows is called as what? It is called as stub. Then ogive is used to find what? The median. Again another repeated question. Then standard error, okay, is inversely proportional to the sample size. Yesterday also I have discussed it. Option C is your answer. Next one, non-probability sampling is also called as what? Non-probability means based on your judgment or based on your purpose or based on the sampler's purpose, he is going and just taking the sample or data from whatever he wish. So that is called as purposive or judgment sample. Hello all. Hi. Many people are spelling hi also. Hi. I'm not reading much because we are going with the flow, right? That's why. Then, which sampling technique is most appropriate when a person wants to ensure that subgroups are proportionally represented? Stratified sampling, very important. Whenever subgroups comes into the picture, we will be talking about stratified sampling. Next one, people, another question which is repeated a lot of time. Frequency density corresponding to a class interval for continuous frequency distribution is the ratio of what? Frequency density is nothing but class frequency divided by class length. That is option B. This was there in your Jan 2026 also. Then the curve obtained by joining the points whose x coordinates are the upper limits of the class intervals and y coordinates are the corresponding cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency graph is what? The ogive graph. Option A. High chance. I am telling you again. Then mode for continuous distribution can be found graphically. Frequency distribution can be determined graphically from what? From or by using histogram, people. Yes. Next one, which of the following statements about simple random sampling is not true? Okay, one by one we will discuss. Now, is it for heterogeneous data? No, it is for homogeneous sample. Okay. So option C is not true. Then frequency curve which starts from a minimum frequency then gradually increases to the maximum at the extreme is what type of curve? The J-shaped curve. Whenever they ask a question based on curves and all, right, you randomly draw it. Okay, sometimes they will ask, oh, initially it is very minimal, then it goes to a higher value, then it comes to the towards the end it again comes down. That is what type of graph? It is called as bell-shaped curve. Okay, then law of statistical regularity, people, high valued question. Law of statistical regularity says that a large sample drawn at random from population would possess characteristics of a population on an average. This is the keyword. on average. If average was not there, even this statement would have been wrong. Okay, on an average only it shows the character of the entire population. Keep that in your mind. Okay, yes, PDF link is there in the description. It's already enough. It's already there. Sir, is this question are enough for theory part? After this, you can go and read chapter 13 and 18 because direct questions are there always from those two chapters. Just fast read the entire thing. These questions are always good. Malayalam samsarikkumo? Okay, samsarikkalo. Yes. Tamil peslam. Ella language theriyum. Okay, fine. In tabulation, the source of data is shown at what? Now, very important. The source of data in a tabular description or a tabular data or tabular representation is always footnote. Keep that in your mind. Next one, from the records of sizes of shoes. People, in retail industry, okay, retail industry or fashionable fashion industry, all these industries, okay, industries, okay, which is the best average we are going to use? The best average in all shoe shops or clothing shop or retail, whichever is getting sold the most number of times will be considered the average. So mode is the best representation over there. Okay, then which of the following measure does not possess mathematical property? So median does not have a mathematical property. Make a note of it because it is just a middle value. Okay, if there are two subgroups N1 and N2, it is nothing but they are asking the formula for combined harmonic mean. H combined is what? N1 plus N2 divided by N1 by H1 plus N2 by H2. From that you can write it as what? N1 plus N2 divided by, take the LCM in the denominator, N1 H2 plus N2 H1 divided by H1 into H2. Then this goes to the numerator. So which option is the answer? Option D is the answer. So there are many questions. There are many questions based on harmonic mean. Theory questions were very few, but many questions, many problems were based on combined harmonic mean in the recent year. So it is a very important topic. Okay, then there are three observations, 15, 20 and 25. Then the sum of the deviation of observation from the mean is how much? So always remember the summation of x minus x bars. All the observation, if I take the deviation, it will always be equal to 0. Also for group data, you can write it as f into x minus x bar, which is also equal to what? 0. Option A is the answer. Another repeated question. Sapitachi. Okay. Next one. Then if the AM and HM for 10 observation are both 15, then the value of HM is how much is the question? People, if AM is equal to GM, okay, then obviously it should also be equal to what? The HM. It cannot have a different value. All of it should be equal at all the time. Then people, for positive and unequal quantities, always remember A is greater than G is greater than H. Positive and unequal quantity. Now, how will you remember this? How can I remember it easily? So, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Then only H is coming. So, A is greater, AM is greater than, GM is greater than HM. Next one, people. For 2. Which option? Option C is the answer. If two variables A and B are related by C is equal to AB, then GM of C is how much is the question? People, GM of C can be written as GM of A into B. Correct? Why? Because C is equal to AB. Then this can be written when two variables are involved. I can write it as GM of A into GM of B. So which option is the answer, people? Option C is your answer. Direct question, very easy to remember also. Now, what if the question is like this? They are telling C is equal to A by B. Then GM of C is equal to how much? The GM of A divided by GM of B. This way you can write it. Next one. Which of the following is not a measure of central tendency? People, median is a measure of central tendency? Yes. Then arithmetic mean? Yes. Harmonic mean? Yes. Is range a measure of central tendency? No, it is a measure of dispersion. What measure of dispersion? Absolute measure of dispersion. What is the corresponding relative measure? Coefficient of range. Keep it in your mind. Then dash mean is calculated when values in data do not have equal importance. People, whenever each value is not having equal importance, weighted average or weighted mean is calculated. Median of a distribution is obtained from what? The less than type of ogives and more than type of ogives. It can be written accordingly. If ogive is there, that's your answer. Okay, any of the option, it is there. Sometimes more than ogive will be there in option B A, then less than ogive in option B, then third option will be some histogram, then fourth option will be both A and B. You will mark which option? Option D, both A and B, more than and less than. Next one, people, which of the following measure of central tendency will be unaffected if the lowest and the highest observation are removed? Lowest and the highest observation means what? The extreme values, correct? Extreme values. Which is not affected by extreme values? None of them. Median is not affected by none of the extreme values. Think about it. Median is the middle value. If middle value affected by the extreme values, never. It is not at all affected. Then which of the following measure of central tendency depends on the position? Who is called as positional average, people? Positional average is called as median. Option B is your answer. Next one, you always remember this formula. What was the shortcut I teach you to remember this formula? Connecting mean, median and mode. Mimi is equal to, so Mimo is equal to how many Mimi? 3 Mimi. Mean minus median is equal to how many Mimis are there? 3 into, sorry, mean minus mode is equal to 3 into mean minus mode. So, what am I writing that? Yes. Okay. So, mean minus mode is equal to 3 into Mimi. Mimo is equal to how many Mimi? 3 Mimis are there. Now, which option is the answer? Option A is the answer. Now coming to the algebraic sum of deviation of set of observation from their arithmetic mean is always how much, the which is always equal to sum of deviation sigma x minus x bar is equal to what? 0. We discussed a similar question also. If you want to remember, study this formula in a different manner, you can study that also, but I don't recommend that. Try to study this formula in this way itself. It is easy for all the type of questions. Okay. Then best measure of central tendency is always what? Mean. Now think about it. When someone comes and asks you a question, find the average and all, you will always think about what? You will only think about mean, not median and mode first of all. Okay, that is the basic thing. Now, which of the following measures of central tendency is based on only the 50% of central values? Who is rather the median? Median is only representing what? The 50% of the central values. Okay. Next one, people. The best statistical measure used for comparing two series is what? Coefficient of variation. Very, very important. Which is the best statistical measure for comparing two series. Okay. So, which of the following is a relative measure of dispersion? Range is absolute measure. Mean deviation is absolute. Standard deviation is absolute. Then who is? Coefficient of quartile deviation is a relative measure. Then, if every observation is increased by 7. Then standard deviation increased by 7, mean deviation increased by 7, not at all affected, quartile deviation is increased by 7. People, increment means what? The plus. Okay. If I am adding, or I am just telling in general, if I am adding or subtracting some values from the some value from the given set of observations, will it affect our dispersion? Never. So change of origin, make a note of it, very important. Change of origin do not affect dispersion values. But what will? Change of scale affects. Change of scale affects means multiplication or division with a certain value or a constant value with all the observations will change our standard deviation, mean deviation, quartile deviation, range and all. It will be changed when we multiply or divide. If I add or subtract, it will never change. But our measure of central tendency, mean, median and mode, right? They will change as per origin and scale also. Next one, which measure of dispersion is based on absolute deviation? Absolute deviation means what? The mean deviation. All the data points, all the observation, which is based on all the observation, mean deviation. Then dash is based on all the observation, mean deviation, and dash is based on central 50% of the observation, that is quartile deviation. One more question I will add. For open-ended classification, For open-ended classification, quartile deviation is the best measure. Excuse me. So which is the best measure? The quartile deviation is the best measure for open-ended classification. Can anyone tell me why? Open-ended means we don't know the extreme values. So we are only concerned about the central 50%. That's why quartile deviation is the best measure. Keep it in your mind. Okay. Thank you, Thakur. Okay. Fine. Oh, you just literally changed using Google Translation. Yes. Yes, you should clear, Thakur. Yes, well and good. Next one, let's go for the next question. Which of the following is not a measure of dispersion? People, standard deviation is a measure. Mean deviation is a measure. Range is a measure. Concurrent deviation. Where are we using concurrent deviation? In correlation coefficient. In order to find the value of R in correlation coefficient, that is what? Plus or minus root of 2c minus m divided by m. There we are not using. There we are using. Here we are not using. Next one. Mean deviation is minimum when the deviations are taken from median. Another important question. It is maximum when it's taken from mean. Then in a given set of observation, if all the observation are same values, with the variance would be how much? The 0. If all the observation are same, means there will not be any variation or standard deviation, right? So it will be 0. Which of the following there is no impact in the presence of extreme value? Now I told you quartile deviation is not affected by extreme values, right? Yes, it is only based on the central 50%, correct? So which option is the answer? Option A should be the answer, since it is based on the central 50%. Then people, if each observation of a set is divided by 10, standard deviation will become what? Even standard deviation will also get divided by 10, because change of scale is affecting standard deviation, mean deviation, quartile deviation, range. All those things are affected over here. Keep that in your mind. If I was multiplying with 10, what would happen? Even standard deviation would get multiplied with 10. Then mean deviation is minimum when the deviations are taken from median. Okay, maximum when it is taken from mean. Okay, next one. Which of the following is not a measure of dispersion? Concurrent deviation method. Okay. Which of the following is the absolute measure of dispersion for open-ended distribution? Who is that? The quartile deviation. Why? It is only based on the central 50% of the observation, and even that can be subdivided into further events is called as what type of event? Composite event. Now we are going for the next chapter. Then people, suppose A and B are two independent events. Okay, probability P of A is not equal to 0, P of B is not equal to 0. Then A and B be their A complement and B complement be their complements. Then which of the following statement is false is the question. People, A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B. Do you know what is the reason? Oh, which is not true. Why P of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B is not true? Because since it is independent event, we can say P of A intersection B is nothing but P of A into P of B. So that value will be there. It will not be mutually exclusive. Keep it in your mind. When an event is independent, it is not mutually exclusive, and vice versa. If it is mutually exclusive, then it is not independent. Next one, theorem of compound probability states what? The P of A intersection B is nothing but P of A into P of B divided P of B given A. This is our formula based question. Many formula based questions were there in the past. Next one, which of the following pairs of events are mutually exclusive? Okay, a student studies in school, he studies geography. They are not mutually exclusive. For example, a student can study what? Geography also. Then Archana is born in India. She is a fine lawyer. Indian can be a lawyer. It is also not mutually exclusive. Sita is 16 years old. She is a good folk dancer. Yeah, she can dance. That is also not mutually exclusive. Then Imran is 15 years of age and he is a voter. Can Imran vote at the age of 15? No. So they are mutually exclusive. Next one, people. So one of them hold correct even for two events A and B. So A minus B means what, people? A minus B means P of only A. Okay, that is the meaning. P of only A is the meaning. Now, what is the formula for, in general, how are you writing P of A union B? P of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. Correct? Now, people, if you want to find P of only A, you will only write the terms containing A. Which are the terms containing A? That is nothing but P of A minus P of A intersection B. What if the question is to find only B? How to do that? Whenever they are asking for only B, you will write the terms which are containing B only. That means you will write it as P of B minus P of A intersection B. That's how you are going to do, people. I hope that you understood the concept. Next one, which of the following is a uniparametric distribution? People, Poisson is a uniparametric distribution, correct? There is only one parameter. Okay, next one. In normal distribution, mean, median and mode are what? Equal. If you draw the normal curve, the middle value is nothing but mean is equal to, median is equal to mode. Everything is same in normal distribution. The mean of binomial distribution is always more than variance. People, what is the formula for mean in terms of binomial? NP. Then what is the formula for variance? That is NPQ. Now people, this will be, anyway Q is a decimal value. So if I multiply this mean with another decimal value, it will be a smaller value again. So mean is always greater than variance in our binomial distribution. Next one, skewness of a normal distribution is what? There is zero skewness. Make a note of it. There is no skewness for what? Normal distribution. Why? It is always perfectly symmetrical. So normal distribution is always symmetrical. Very important. Okay. Next one, people. The standard deviation of a binomial distribution. Direct question. So we know the formula for variance. Variance is how much? NPQ. Variance is NPQ. If you know variance, how will you find the standard deviation? Standard deviation is nothing but root of variance, which is root of NPQ. So which option is the answer? Option B is the answer. Then the standard normal distribution, the value of mean and standard deviation are how much? For a standard normal distribution, always remember mean is equal to 0 and the standard deviation is equal to 1. Keep it in your mind. It can be repeated for your coming exam. Then if X and Y are two independent normal variates, then which with means and standard deviation mu1 and mu2, sigma 1 and sigma 2 respectively. Mean is given, so two independent variables are there. Their mean is there, their standard deviation is there. Then z is equal to x plus 5. For normal distribution, what happens? So for normal distribution, standard variance will be how much? Variance will be nothing but sigma 1 square plus sigma 2 square. So in order to find standard deviation, it should be what? Root of sigma 1 square plus sigma 2 square. Then mean is nothing but directly you can add it. So option A, it is called as what property? Additive property. Keep a note of it. Once again, my chat is gone. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Additive property. Yes. Sir, how many are you expecting from these questions? Last time also all the theory questions except 3 theory question, I think all the out of 15 theory questions in the last exam, all the theory questions came from what we discussed last time. This time also it will be like that. Okay, so try to study, it will help you out. Then for a normal distribution, ratio of mean deviation to standard deviation is how much is the question? People, yesterday I taught you one formula, right? Do you remember? 2SD is equal to 2.5 MD is equal to how many QTs are there? How many QTs are there? 3 QTs are there, correct? Now we need to find what? We need to connect mean deviation and standard deviation. So 2SD, we will only take this part. 2SD is equal to 2.5 MD. We need to find the ratio of mean deviation divided by SD. That is nothing but what, people? 2.1 second, our mean deviation divided by SD means SD goes to this side, 2 divided by 2.5, which is equal to how much, people? That is nothing but 0.8. So option C is the answer. Next one. Each and every questions are important. Okay. Yes. Next one. The mean deviation of a normal distribution is again the same question is repeated. You can use our same thing and you will get the same answer. See how funny is life, correct? Now the intersecting point of two regression line. People, I told you if there is one regression line going like this, if there is another regression line going like this, they will meet at a point, and that point of intersection is called as what? Their mean. Okay, regression line. Two regression lines will always intersect at their what, people? Always intersect at their means. Keep a note of it, that is x bar and y bar. Then the regression coefficient remains unchanged. People, regression coefficient is independent of change of origin. So change of origin plus or minus will not affect our regression coefficient, while multiplication and division will affect our regression coefficient. So shift of origin does not affect our regression coefficient. Next one, if the sum of the product of the deviation are 0, then the coefficient correlation coefficient is how much? 0. Why? For using our KPCC method of correlation coefficient, what is the formula? Sigma dx dy divided by root of sigma dx square into sigma dy square, which is equal to, here they told product of the deviation from x and y is equal to what? 0. This entire thing is what? 0. 0 divided by any number is what? A big 0. Option A is the answer. Next question, people. If the data points x and y are in a scattered diagram along a straight line straight line downwards as x moves from left to right, that means if you are drawing the scatter diagram, it is a straight line from, if you are moving from left to right, it is going downward. It is what type of correlation? It is perfect negative correlation, right? So perfect negative correlation. So you can say that it is what? Imperfect and indirect type of correlation. That way you can call it. Next one, regression coefficient remains what? Unchanged due to what? Shift of origin, shift of scale will change the value. Then if the plotted points in a scatter diagram lie from lower left to upper right, lower left to upper right means positive correlation. People, if it is a straight line, okay, if it is a straight line, it is perfect positive. Okay, perfect positive, otherwise it is positive. Then for the finding this correlation coefficient between two qualitative characteristics, we use what? Rank correlation coefficient. Keep a note of it. For quality based character, judgmental based character, we will use which correlation coefficient? The rank correlation coefficient. Yes. Which one, da? Which one you are telling? Which question? Positive only. Yes, it's positive. 107. Rank correlation coefficient. Yes. Because rank means what? Yesterday I told you with the example of biryani. Yeah, I am going to rank. Hyderabadi biryani is there, Kerala biryani is there, Donne biryani is there, then Talapakati biryani is there. I am going to say that I am going to give ranks like first Talapakati, then Hyderabadi, likewise I am going to give. Then my wife is going to give a different rank. Actually, at the end of the day, it is their qualitative choice or an attribute choice, depends on the person. It cannot be measured, if you ask me. That's why we are dealing with rank correlation coefficient. I hope that you got it. Next one, it is imperfect and indirect. Yes. Negative correlation itself, it is also called by that. Okay. Yes. Next one. KPCC correlation coefficient formula is what? Covariance of xy divided by standard deviation of x into standard deviation of y. So option A is the answer. Then Spearman's rank correlation coefficient, another formula based question. It can also be written as 1 minus 6 sigma d square divided by n cube minus n, or you can write it as n into n square minus 1. That way also you can write it. The regression coefficient will be perpendicular to each other. Then the value of r is equal to what? 0. Yesterday also I told you, if two regression coefficients are perpendicular to each other, what will happen? It will always be equal to what? 0. Then KPCC is defined as the ratio of covariance and the product of the standard deviation. So KPCC correlation coefficient. Then if the regression coefficient, if one of the regression coefficient is greater than unity, the other should be what? Less than unity. So option A is the answer. Why? Why that is the case? Why, if one is greater than 1, the other one should be less than 1? The problem is, if both of them are greater than 1, what will happen? Our correlation coefficient also will be greater than 1, but that is not possible. Maximum value of correlation coefficient is how much? 1. Minimum is how much? -1. It should always between -1 and +1. That is the reason. Then Spearman's correlation coefficient is used to check what? Relationship between variables. At the end of the day, they are just checking that. Range of correlation coefficient, it is between -1 and +1, including both the values. Then, which of the following statement is correct regarding limit of two regression coefficient? People, the product of the coefficient must be numerically less than unity. Can it be greater than unity? If it is greater than unity, our correlation coefficient will also be greater than unity. It is not possible. That is the meaning of option D. Then, in case of insurance companies' profits, the number of claims they have to pay, there exists what type of correlation? People, I am owning an insurance company. Okay, this is me, and there is number of claims also over here. I will just put a box over here. Now people, think about it. If claims are increasing, okay, will my profit increase or decrease? Anyway, I need to give the money to the people, correct? That means my profit will decrease, correct? So they both are what? They are negative correlation. Next one, which of the following statement is wrong? Correlation coefficient between x and y is 2.6. Is it correct? No. Why? Because always r should be in between +1 and -1. Keep that in your mind. Another important thing. Next question, people. The correlation coefficient between x and y is 0.8. If we add a number 10, x variable, and subtract 20 from y variable, then the new correlation coefficient will be how much? The 0.8. Why is it not changing? It is not affected by what? Change of origin. That is the meaning. Next one, people. Cost of living index is also called a cost of living index is always what type of index? It is a weighted index number. Okay, next one, Fisher's index number does not satisfy circular test. Keep a note of it. Fisher is called as what? Ideal index number. That ideal index number does not satisfy what? Circular test. Then people, if P10 and P01 are indexed from 1 on 0 and 0 on 1 respectively, this is what type of test? It is time reversal test, which is equal to 1. Then the weighted average of price relative of commodities, when the weights are equal to values of commodities in current year, yields dash index number. Pache's index number, because what we are taking, what quantity? Current year quantity, correct? Then weighted numbers are not, index numbers are not helpful for what? It is good for seeing forecast. We can forecasting using index number. Then revealing trend analysis can be done. Then framing economic policies, that can be done using index number. That's how we are doing it also. Now people, can we identify error using it? No, it is not possible. Sir, how much is there? We have around 50 more questions. Okay, yes. Next one. Three index numbers, namely Lappe, Pache, Fisher, do not satisfy which test? Circular test. So Lappe does not satisfy, Pache does not satisfy, Fisher does not satisfy. Next question, people. The test of shifting the base is called as what? Circular test. The same question repeated last time in Jan 26 also. Okay, see how it is. Then P0 and P1 are prices of commodity in base year and current year respectively. Price relative is nothing but current year price divided by base year price. Option A is the answer. Lappe index number weighted agreement taking what as the base? It is taken as base year quantity. Okay, option A. Direct question. Next one. Which of the following method is based on geometric mean? Geometric mean means what? Geometric mean is Fisher. Okay, GF. Correct? After G, who is going to come? F is coming. So geometric mean is nothing but Fisher. Fisher is the geometric mean of Lappe and Pache. Then which index? Bole index is arithmetic mean of Lappe and Pache. Keep it in your mind. It can be useful for you. Next one, people. Which of the following test is not applied for selecting index number? People, time reversal is a test, correct? Factor reversal is a test. Then circular is a test. Price relative is a method of constructing itself. It is not test. Then which of the following index numbers measures the change from month to month in the cost of representative basket of goods and services of type which are bought in a typical household? What type of index is that? The retail price index number. Then Fisher's index number is called as ideal index number. Why is it called as ideal index number? Because it satisfied factor reversal test. Also, it satisfied time reversal test. That's why we are calling this person as the ideal index number. Okay, then which of the following index number is computed by taking average of base year and current year? People, what is the formula of Marshall's? That is sigma P1 into Q1 plus Q0 divided by sigma P0 into Q1 plus Q0. So people, actually there is a 2 over here. You can cancel both 2's. That's the case. Now that's what you should understand. In Marshall-Egworth index, we are taking the average of base year and current year quantities. Okay, keep it in your mind. Next one, weighted geometrical mean relative formula satisfy what test, and the factor reversal test is satisfied by what? The Fisher's ideal index number. Next one, an index number constructed to measure the relative change. Okay, relative change in the price of an item or a group of item is called as what? Price index number. Next one, Fisher does not satisfy circular test. Very good question. High chance of repeating again and again. Next one, the average of base year and current year is used in dash index number. Marshall Egworth, again it got repeated, so high chance it will be there for tomorrow also. Next one, which index number satisfy time reversal and factor reversal? Who is that person? Our ideal index number, Fisher is that person. Then which of the following is not a test of adequacy? Unit test is a test, circular is a test, factor is a test. Then who is not a test? Square test. Then which of the following does not satisfy time reversal test? People, Lappe and Pache does not satisfy time reversal test. You can make a note of it. Then next one, the value index is equal to how much? It is the sum of the values of given year divided by sum of the values of the base year. Yeah, then what is quantity index? Quantity also we are finding it in the same manner itself. For price index, price relative also we are finding it in the same manner. Now people, which of the following test of adequacy is concerned with the measurement of price changes over a period of years, which is when it is desirable to shift the base? Whenever base is shifting, it is based on what? Circular test. So how many questions we have done using circular test? Too many questions, correct? Yes. It is always better to attend easy questions first. Yes, if you see that, but don't waste your time just scrolling the papers. That will create issues. Keep it in your mind. Okay. Yes, because you will be looking for the easy question and you will waste your time. Don't do that mistake in examination hall. Just start off. At the end, everything will be fine. If you have studied well, everything will be fine. If you haven't studied well, I can't say anything. Correct. That's the, at the end of the day, it will be like that. Whoever put the effort, it will be fruitful. No matter what, it will be fruitful. Next one, people, time reversal test is satisfied by whom? Fisher. Then which of the following index use the method of average of base year and current year? Again, Marshall's Egworth is coming. We are not provided with extra 15 minutes. There is no reading time. Keep it in your mind. Once you get the paper itself, you should start writing. That's how it is. Okay. Yes. Next one, chain index number formula. What is the formula? Link relative of the current year into chain index number of the previous year divided by 100. Another formula based question. Which sampling technique can be used for construction of index number? Random sampling. Very good question, people. So index number can be constructed after using what type of sampling? Random sampling method. So TVM, that question you told, yes, I can do it when we do for the next revision time. Just remind me, that time I'll do it. Then two indices, that is current on base and base on current, should be reciprocal of each other is what type of test? The time reversal test. Then the number of students in a college is an example of what type of variable? It is a discrete variable. It's not an attribute, it is measurable itself. Then for manifold classification, it is actually, there is a sentence in your, in your textbook, just like that they asked a question. Okay, nowadays there is usage of AI and all, so they will ask from any part of the textbook. I'm just telling you that, keep it in your mind. So that's why we are revising these type of questions again and again, so that whatever may be the question, you will be able to get the answer at the end of the day. So manifold classification, this method of presentation of data can be recommended the textual. Okay, next one, the Most commonly used distribution is dash, in which maximum frequency is at the central part. Okay, maximum frequency is at the central part, and again it decreases while it is moving towards the right. What type of curve is that? Bell curve. Okay, anything can be a question. Whenever curve based question come, always try to draw the curve. You will get the answer based on that. Then symbol sampling method, which belongs to category of mixed sampling, is what does systematic sampling. After a singing competition of a live TV show, the winner is selected according to the number of likes each candidate has received on the messaging app. This method is what type of sampling? The purposive sampling. Okay, then weightage of 15 to 20 marks can be there from theory. Okay, if you are lucky, you will get 20 marks. So that's the usual part. Last time it was 15. Previous time I think it was around 17. So 15 to 20 marks can be just theory questions. Okay. Then an investigator collects information on salaries received by 1,000%. Okay. From this collection, the data of women are extracted. So people, initially, an investigation or data was collected already. From that data, we are collecting the data again. Then it is a secondary data collection. Which of the following is not a basic principle of sample survey? Principle of large number. Inertia is there, optimization is there, statistical regularity is there, large number is not there. Then 2 salespersons present their number of sales per week for a month. Okay. Then an appropriate diagram that can be drawn for this data is what? Adjacent bar chart. Why we are going with adjacent bar chart? It is much more easier, easy comparison. 2 bar at the same time we can say, oh, this person is performing well, this person is not performing well. Sir, I have a doubt. Where you faculty me branch of Bangalore? Yes, I am in Bangalore. I am in Chennai also. I took the class in Chennai. I was there everywhere. Yes, but depends. Okay, yes. A batch is starting day of on Thursday. One more batch is starting in Kormangala branch. Okay, yes. Yes. A bar chart can be drawn for the data having numbers on what? Students of various disciplines. Why we are going with that? Because when we are discussing, if you check your ICA book itself, bar chart example is based on various discipline students. Discipline means science students, commerce students. Likewise, we will be plotting it. Okay. Then the best measure of dispersion for open-ended. Open-ended is what? Quartile deviation, correct? And is the dash which does not change with respect to change of origin. It does not change with respect to origin. Now we came to September 25. What did you understand when we came to September 25? Whatever we have discussed till now, in one or the other way, it is getting repeated. Okay, are you getting my point? They are not finding too many different types of question and all. Whatever is there, that will be mixed and match again, and it will be coming. That will be the same pattern you can also expect. It is not a prediction, people. It is a spoiler. I'm telling you, it is a spoiler. It will be like that itself for you guys also. Next one. If the regression coefficient is greater than 1, then the regression coefficient byx will not be greater than 1. If 1 is greater than 1, the other should be less than unity. Then, if two variables move in the same direction, that is an increase or decrease on the part of one variable, introduce increase or decrease on the other part. It is what type of correlation? Positive correlation. If x increases, y is also increasing. If x decreases, y is also decreasing. What type of correlation? Positive correlation. Then, in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, our live will get over. Okay, yes. During the tabular presentation of data, dash is the entire upper part. Entire upper part is called as box set. Okay, which include columns, sub-columns, everything will be included in what? Our box set. Next one. A market researcher divides a city into 5 regions. So 5 different cities, regions are there, where variation within region is little, and there is a maximum variation between regions, and randomly selected 100 households from each region for a survey. So a sample survey is going to get happen. Then this sampling method is called as what? Stratified sampling. Based on, we are dividing them into subgroups. That type of sampling is called as what? Stratified sampling. Then frequency density of a class interval may be defined as what? It is the ratio of frequency to the class length. Then on dash, The frequency starting from lower value gradually increases, then comes back again. What type of curve is that? Bell-shaped curve. Then, in stratified sampling, when the new strata variants differ significantly among themselves, we take recourse to Neyman's allocation. Neyman's allocation, we are proportional with respect to population size. Then, according to Dash, if a sample of fairly large size is drawn from the population under discussion, then on an average, keyword, again I am telling you, on an average, the sample would possess the character of the population. What type of law is that? Law of statistical regularity, one of the most repeated question. Then, diagrammatic presentation of cumulative frequency is called as what? Ogive. Then again repeated. The type of sampling method depends on entirely the discretion or judgment of the sampler. What type of sampling? Purposive sampling. Then which of the following sampling method is completely free from sampler bias? Random sampling. Then which index number method uses current year quantity as the weight? Current year quantity is in Pache. Base year quantity is in Lappe. Keep it in your mind. Then Fisher's ideal index number is defined as the dash of geometric mean of Lappe and Pache. The property of an index number that follows shifting the base without referring to each time to original base tested with follow is what? Shifting the base means itself is circular test. Next one, people, second last question. Which of the following index number does not satisfy time reversal test is what? Pache. Then final one, test of shift. The test of shiftability of the base is called as what, people? Circular test. Now people, all our theories are done. Revise these theories. Then after that, read chapter number 13, chapter number 18. That will help you to secure some good marks from theory, because you can expect up to 20 theory questions. So usually it will be 15 to 20 theory questions will be there, and it is easy peasy marks for us. Correct? Not much struggle. Within 5 seconds we are getting the answer. We are saving time. Okay, so be confident. So always go with your judgment. In certain cases, if you feel like, oh, don't erase and do anything, okay, always keep it in your mind. Then never do inky pinky ponky. High chance of that you will never get that answer. Okay, keep that in your mind, people. Then we will catch up again for the next marathon soon. I'll put the live and all. Mostly by 5 o'clock or 5:30 we will have the next marathon, okay, for the expected questions. All the very best, everyone. Do well, make use of it. Thank you so much. I'm very happy to see these many people in the live also. Very happy. Put some likes. Yes. So thank you so much. Thank you from TN. Where are you guys from? Please do comment. Bye. Let's meet. Yes. How many hours in the evening marathon? Mostly it will take 3-4 hours maybe. Yes, sometimes. Yeah. I'll try to finish it ASAP, but questions are there. Many questions are there, right? Unexpected. Yes, thank you all. Bye-bye. Take care. Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Rest well. Thank you. Madurai, Tirupati, Coimbatore, Bangalore. Yes. Pondicherry, Chennai. Thank you, Thakur. Then Thuthukudi, Chennai, Thuthukudi, Tamil Nadu, Tirupati. Yes, Erode, Delhi. Yes. Pan-Indian class we are having. Yes. By Tirupati, Vijayawada, Bangalore, DK. Where is that? Trivandrum. Yes. Delhi again. Yes. There is our next month's marathon. Yes. Okay, people. Kerala, Jupiter. Okay. Telangana. Okay. Done. Formula revision will also be done. Tanjavur. Yes. TN, Erode, Kochi. Yes. So some marathon after this. Round 5 we'll have one. Yes. Pan-Indian. Yes. Yeah, from everywhere. California. Okay, Ajay. Vijayawada, Hyderabad. Yes. Now people, thank you so much. Do well. Yesterday's marathon you can use for revision. Yes, for your last minute revision and all, yesterday's marathon will be well and good. Okay, people, thank you so much. It was wonderful. Thank you. Bye. Yes. Okay, Kaushik. Bye. Murka. Okay. Bye. Take care, people. All the best. Tata. Bye. We'll catch up soon. I'll be doing expected questions in the evening. Okay.